so excited. We are back with episode 6. This episode is called Sexual Intellectual. I am here with Miss Sexual Intellectual herself. Hi. I'm going to let her do the introduction because I'm so excited about this important conversation. Go ahead.
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Evan. I also go by the Sexual Intellectual. I'm a sex educator, and I teach sex ed professionally. Yes. And also I have an Instagram page called the Sexual Intellectual _ tag. I love it. I teach sex ed to everyone who's looking to learn more about it.
Okay. And since this is the month of love, February, I thought it would be so appropriate to bring my friend here and school us real quick about sex. We all love it. We all need it, to be honest.
Yeah,
is that true?
Human need. I agree.
Okay.
These are human needs. You need to eat. You have this urge to reproduce.
Exactly. Okay, good. Yay. Okay, so let's get into it. So, what made you start this?
Yeah, so I had a really great sex education growing up in middle school through high school. I had a dope black woman who was an amazing teacher. She taught sex ed in a way that was really approachable and didn't make you feel weird about anything that you were thinking about you were feeling, and she was super dope. So then when I got to college and I knew so much about it, and my friends in the dorm room had crazy myths that they were saying. Yeah. One of my friends was like, "Oh yeah, you know how you can't get pregnant on your first time," and I was like, hold on, that's not true. That's not true at all. I realized that none of them had good sex ed. So I started being the sex educator on the hallway.
Do you feel like it's because of our parents and the sex topic is kind of taboo to talk with your parents? Do you feel that's what made everyone you interact with feel oh shit, they don't know anything at all? Do you think it's the upbringing?
I think it's part of it. I feel like it's an uncomfortable conversation. As a kid, you didn't enjoy having the talk if you had the talk with your parents. Right. As a parent, you're like, I don't want to think about my child having sex. That sounds so terrible and scary. But
I do not want to think about Amelia having sex at all.
No, never.
Oh my God.
No, never, right? But I think that also perpetuates the culture that we live in. It's not something that we talk about in a healthy way. So when it's taboo, you're more likely to make unsafe decisions, and you might get pregnant really early before you wanted to, or you might get an STD because you didn't know how to protect yourself. So that shyness and that fear perpetuates, unfortunately, unhealthy sexual outcomes.
How did you tell your parents that, okay, I want to be a sex ed teacher?
Oh my gosh, my mom loves my page.
What? Oh my gosh. She's the coolest.
She's so dope.
She's supportive?
She's so supportive.
That's amazing.
Because she agrees.
That's amazing.
Yeah. My mom's going to support everything I do, but she specifically follows my page and watches all those videos on there.
So did she have to talk with you? She kind of sounds like a feminist and
Right. She sounds like it, and you would think that she did. We had 2 little talks.
Wow.
We had 2 little talks about it, and it was more when I was younger, she was like, do you know what sex is? And I was like, I just knew from movies, oh, it's touching and kissing. Yeah. And she was like, okay, we'll circle back later when you figure it out.
So so when you graduated high school, did you know you wanted to dive deeper into sexuality and everything? Yeah. So what's your major? Degree? Come on, let us know.
So I graduated. I'm summa cum laude from Spelman College.
Okay, we got a sorrow in the building.
So I was a sociology major and public health minor, and I interned a lot with Planned Parenthood.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't like how I figured out in politics that old white men were telling women what to do with their bodies.
Wow.
That just didn't work with my beliefs and who I was.
I don't like men telling me anything.
Exactly, period. Who are you?
Anything. So my body?
Right,
no.
my body, you're going to tell me what I can and can't do with this here? Please. So I just want to increase access to reproductive health care, and health education was a big part of that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So, I want to do some myths. I have questions, even if I'm a mom. My parents did not talk to exactly. My Haitian parents did not talk to me about sex
at all.
They did not. Yeah, they told me, well, when I got my period, literally my dad was like, now you could get pregnant. And I'm like, what? And I feel like that shit's crazy. Yeah. That is not the way we should have the conversation.
So how'd you find out what sex was? Like, and like figure it out?
Oh my gosh, that's wow. Damn, how did I? My siblings, because I'm the youngest. So like honestly, they were talking about it, and I'd be like, "What's that?" And then my brother would be like, "Yeah, like you know." And he's like, this and that. You know how guys are. They don't really explain it too well. And so
they explain it from their perspective.
Perspective also, exactly. So that's how I knew from my siblings. But like I didn't like, really knew. And then also my freaking, the web.
The internet.
The internet. The 90s, it was easy. Porn just popped up on the web when the first one came out. Yeah. So that's how I see my like first sex was through the web, honestly. And I didn't know what it was.
And that's a lot of people's first introduction to sex is porn. And porn doesn't really like
okay, myth right here.
Yeah.
They say out here, that the best way to learn about sex is watching porn.
That is the worst way to learn about sex.
Oh, buzzer myth. That's a myth.
That is the worst way to know about sex because most sex does not, especially for a woman or anyone with a vagina. Yeah. Like most porn does not center female pleasure at all.
Oh, so it's geared towards men.
Yes, 100%. Wow. And like it's very performative, and those are actors who are just making it look good for the camera.
Wow.
When in reality, if you know anything about a woman's body, right, it's usually not what you're gonna see on your easy porn search.
Wow, I thought that was it. They'd be like, you want to learn how to give a blowjob, blah 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 blah. So what is the best way to
what, Cindy? To do what? Cindy's podcast uncut.
Everything goes, okay? So what is the best way for someone to learn about sex, honestly? Like, what is the best way if it's not porn?
I definitely would recommend anyone exploring themselves first to figure out how you like it.
And okay, so the next thing, okay.
Masturbation needs to be more uplifted for women.
I was just about to say, 100%. Is it true that women honestly like to masturbate more than men, but we don't talk about it? Is that like what's up with that?
I don't know if it's more than, but I think women masturbate more than they would ever talk about.
Ooh.
Or sometimes a lot more women are comfortable doing it. So again, when I was talking to my friends that first year at Spelman, they were like, I don't do that because like I believe that's a man's job.
Oh my god.
Girl, he don't know what he doing, okay? He don't know what he is doing. You need to be able to know yourself so that you can give him some direction
okay? Oh my god.
That's the only way that you're gonna guarantee your pleasure at the end of the day.
Oh wow. Okay. So girls, just help yourself. So speaking of that, so let's talk about like sex toys. I went on your page and I seen you did this freaking review that went viral.
It did. It was fun.
And girl, what? Come on, tell the people.
So I thankfully have gotten a lot of followers on that Instagram page, and I started getting certain toys and products sent to me.
Oh my gosh.
I got sent a weed THC lubricant.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Is it for oral? Quick question. What was it for?
Both. It's for like, oh my gosh, girl, if you put it on and then like whoever's eating you out, like they could get high.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But they didn't give me, I'm not going to say their name because they didn't,
Of course, no. We're not saying any names for anything until we get endorsements.
They didn't pay me for that endorsement. They just sent me a care package. So we'll see.
Okay.
So that's dope.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. And then I got sent a really cool high-tech vibrator that is Bluetooth enabled. So you use, you can use it just like turning it on with a button, but you also can have a remote on the app on your phone so that you can turn, and also you can link it to your playlist so it can vibrate to the beat of the music. But I was in a long distance ting at that time.
Okay.
So it was really dope because I sent him and sent them the app. And he was in a different
state. So he was controlling
so he could
it.
Control it.
Girl.
Yeah,
girl. Oh my.
He was like, I've never done this before. I was like,
of course you have.
Yes.
Cheers to that. I love that. All right. Okay, so there's this conversation that I've been seeing on Twitter where it's like a debate where if men like to get their, I'm not trying to be, too, their ass, whatever.
Oh, their butt.
Yes. Is it true?
Salad.
Yes, toss a salad. Okay, we'll do it this. Yes, perfect. You see? This is why I got the sex educator here. So I heard that, is it true? This is a myth or, truth. Is it true that automatically makes them gay? I don't think that at all. So we'll clarify that at all. Y'all know me. Everything goes in my personal life and my life. Yeah. I would never judge, but I wanted you to come here and clarify that.
Yeah, men and booty play,
Yes.
This is one thing that I think women have a privilege in, and men actually have a disadvantage, because men's sexuality that they are allowed to express or even talk about is a very, very small box.
Yes.
Because they are afraid of being perceived as gay.
Right.
I think they're afraid of trying something and then it feeling good, and they're like, oh my God, am I gay?
Right.
But men have a high pressure sensor right inside of their butthole.
Yeah.
So yes, most men will get physical pleasure from that type of stimulation.
Right.
But in the world we live in right now, all of that is seen as gay. So they're afraid of either talking about it when I know, but me being the sexual intellectual, I have men who DM me certain things and ask me questions about that. And I'm like, it's totally cool.
I was going to say, are you open to everyone hitting you up and asking you these type of questions?
I love when everyone hits. I got the funny story highlight on my page. People told me crazy things stuff that they went through, and women, everyone everyone has funny stories.
So it's a myth, guys.
Yeah, it's a
if
myth.
you like to get put that way and you don't like, it's a myth.
You're only gay if you actually really like penis.
Exactly.
That means that you're gay.
You see, just clarify it.
Okay.
Ev, do you want to continue doing this forever, or do you want to go a different route?
That's actually something I'm asking myself right now, because I somehow have been able to successfully turn this page into a full-time job. I'm now a full-time sex educator at a school.
Yes.
So our health teacher also at a school. So I'm able to pay my bills off of that, which is really awesome. Boston is not cheap. Okay,
we all know that.
Yes, but I don't know if I want to continue talking about sex on the internet, because somehow I don't know, because so many people are we miss your page, I need it, I never had sex ed when I was younger.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, it's just sometimes it feels a little strange talking about sex on the internet, but I do know that there is a need, and I do know that most of the population did not receive a good sex education.
No.
I studied that in grad school. I studied sex ed policy. I went to Amsterdam to study sexuality. And it was cool.
Amsterdam.
Yeah, red light district and all that.
Please tell me a little bit about that. Please. Give us some insider.
Our first homework assignment was to walk
So
around.
Did you apply? How did you do all of
Figure
that?
out?
Yeah.
Well,
how did you get there? What was it like? Your school? Was it
I was in
study
grad
abroad?
School. I was in grad school, and I was really disappointed with the electives that they were offering. And I got online and I found a program at the University of Amsterdam to add to my graduate school credits. And I went there for a summer to study sexuality with other grad students from around the world. It was super cool. The first homework assignment was to walk around the red light district and take notes on what I noticed and saw. And it was a one-in-a-lifetime experience. We went to a sex show. So you know how we have strip shows, strip clubs.
Yeah.
So in Amsterdam they have sex shows. So there was a 3-act play basically where everyone's sitting around and there are people doing sexual acts on a show.
Oh my gosh, that's actually insane, Ab.
Yeah, I don't know how much I can talk about this.
How long? I know. I just one question about Amsterdam. One question. How long were you there for?
I was there for I think over a month, 5 weeks.
So did you meet anybody? And then that's it. We're done. And then I'm gonna move on from Amsterdam. Just let me know. I need to know a little juice.
I had some great friends in my program that were super dope that I still talk to today.
Yeah.
I met some friends who were actually from Amsterdam and some black people, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we don't hang out down here. We hang out over here." And I was like, "Oh, okay, let me go." Went to the club.
Nice.
It was good.
You had a good time.
Yeah, it was great.
All right. That's I won't get too deep into it. So I can't, like, I have so many questions, and I know everyone has so many questions about sex too. What's one of, like, the craziest myths you heard about sex that you would like everyone to know?
Well, you can't get pregnant on your first time. One was crazy.
That was crazy.
That was crazy. Someone told me that condoms are unnecessary, or like they
What?
Well, it is true that condoms do affect the sensation of sex. Like,
I was going to say, so is it true that condoms is not the same?
No one,
like, raw is honestly, like,
no
superb.
one loves condoms. No one's like, ooh, condoms are great. Yeah, right. That's my favorite thing. But, you know, would you rather have, use a condom or, like, get an STD? You know?
Okay, oh my gosh. And then
there's a huge myth that, like, HIV only affects, like, gay people.
I was going to say, so STDs, let's talk about that as Black women.
Yeah.
Is that still, like, high affected 2023? Like, is that
still getting STDs?
Like, highly?
Yes.
Like, a lot still?
People are still getting STDs.
Because you know what's so crazy? Growing up, I used to hear a lot of talk about STDs.
Yeah.
And now, I don't really hear a lot of chatter about it, commercials about it.
Yeah.
So why do
the people who get them are hiding it? I know people who have gotten them, and curable ones, like friends of mine who they can come confide in me and talk about it, and how they talk to me about their process of going to their doctor, taking the medication for it. Right. But they're a lot more common than you think, and the reason we don't hear about it anymore is because we don't have forced health classes anymore. No one was taking sex ed in college, and people are shy or don't want to share when they get one.
Wow, they're
everywhere.
Wow, that's so true. Because I was thinking the other day, and I was like, you know what's crazy? Growing up, I used to see commercials all the time about, like, STDs and this, that, and the third. And now I was like, I don't see no commercials about it.
I'm talking about them every day at school.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and there's ones like that are incurable. There are ones are curable. There are ones if you don't get them treated.
What's the most common STD?
HPV, honestly. You know how most people got that vaccine?
So does it work? Does the vaccine protect?
The vaccine protects against cervical cancer. So there's a lot of different strains.
Let's clarify that, because I hear, okay, if you got the vaccine, you're fine. So
you're fine for cervical cancer. Okay. But there are a lot of different strains of HPV. Yes. And it's like the statistics are most people who have sex contract HPV. Wow. And the vaccine protects against the strains that lead to cervical cancer.
Wow. And does that affect men more or women more?
Well, the cervical cancer, of course, because it's women. But men often get STDs as well. Yes. But they are much less likely to show any symptoms.
Wow.
Definitely.
That is crazy. Please go get tested, my guys.
Exactly.
Please go get tested.
Back with COVID, things were happening and everyone was getting COVID. There was some nonprofit around Boston who was doing COVID and STD tests. And some of my friends were like, oh yeah, I got tested for everything. I was like, good for you.
Good for you. Okay, so does insurance cover STD testing?
Yes, it does.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and then there's low cost options to get if you don't have insurance. Yes. You can go to Planned Parenthood and get a much cheaper tests and stuff.
Wow. Okay, great. And we still have plenty of Planned Parenthood in Massachusetts, because you know how the funding and stuff is going for all of that around the country.
Planned Parenthood is still open in Massachusetts. Yes. We have at least 2. There's one right by BU.
Yes. So drop the location. Yep. Nice and local.
It's right there. Off the train.
Wow. That's crazy. I really didn't know that men showed less, like, don't show the symptoms as much as women.
So they have the audacity and the goal to be like, oh, I don't want to use a condom, but you really are not getting tested and you don't know what symptoms you have. So like with the nature of like penis and vagina penetrative sex, it is like, yes, women are a lot at risk because we are receiving a lot of things in like bacteria and things during sex. Wow. So because we have a more internal sexual structure, whereas men are more external, but men are still very likely and often do contract STDs and sexually transmitted infections. They just have no idea. They can be passing around to anybody.
Oh my gosh.
When we show symptoms first. Also, we're more conscious of like if something goes wrong, we're like, we know something's wrong.
Right.
We have gynecologists to get checked. Men don't have gynecologists.
No, they don't. Oh my God, there's no penis doctor.
No, there's not. There's urologists, but they don't have to go see them once a year or every 6 months.
Wow. So how, as a woman, do I like say, hey, can you get tested before we have sex? Like, what's the best like approach? Like, to be honest, like, I want your opinion.
My dad, such an oversharer. He was like, he's like, you know, your mom told me to get tested before I could even come close to her. I was like, period. Okay, Pam know what she was doing. Okay,
Pam.
And they
Shout
met in
out to Pam.
and they knew, and they met in the 80s too. Like, HIV epidemic was everywhere.
Yes.
And
is HIV still like highly but there's more like...
There's a lot more medication for HIV.
Okay, perfect. And it's not a death sentence?
Yeah, it's not a death sentence anymore.
Okay, perfect.
But you should not be afraid to ask your partner to get tested, because if they are trying to penetrate you and and they don't care enough about how your health outcome is after, you need to get up and walk away and be like, thank you so much for the time.
Period.
Gotta go.
Exactly. Yeah. I love that because it's like, I feel like us women, it's hard for us to like admit and be like, yo, like, can you get tested? Or there's a shame. Like, I feel like men always love to say like, you burned me. You did this. You did that.
Or guys gonna be like, oh, what you think I'm dirty? Like,
exactly.
What do you think? Like, no, I want to protect myself actually. And I want to stay STD free. So let me know when you have the results.
Exactly. I love that. I love that. Yep. And that goes for men and women too.
Yeah.
Because men should also say that to women.
Yeah. Like, why do you think, don't you respect
Would you get offended if a man was like, have you been tested before?
No, just because I know exactly what he's talking about. Like,
good.
I know,
I love that.
Like, it would probably make me respect him more because he cares about his own health.
Yeah, so women shouldn't get offended about that.
No.
Because, oh my gosh, I had a friend, she was like, oh my gosh, girl, like this guy, he told me when was the last time I got tested, how many sexual partners I had.
Oh,
he
no,
was like,
you better not ask me that.
Oh, so that's too much.
Yeah,
so the sexual partner is, that's
grown.
where.
Yeah, I draw the line.
That's where you draw the line.
Yeah, you don't need to ask me. We're not like, no. Don't even ask me.
Oh my God.
How many bodies you have, please? Get out of here, you high schoolers.
So is that inappropriate?
I think it is because you could have one
both
body.
ways. So do you not ask guys how many bodies they had?
No, because I don't want to know.
Oh wow,
I don't want to know. I've had someone almost asked someone. I was like, please don't answer the question. I don't want to know because every time I ask,
don't take my memory. Oh my gosh,
don't take my image of you, please.
Oh man,
no.
Okay,
because you can get an STD with one partner, or you can get an STD and not get one if you've had 50 partners.
Wow.
Because you could be in a monogamous relationship, let your partner cheat with one person that has some infection, and then they come back to you, boom.
Wow.
You have an STD.
Wow.
So it doesn't really, like, 100% depend on the number of.
Oh my gosh.
If you're having sex with people who get tested, cool. If you're having sex with someone who doesn't get tested and cheating on you, boom, you have an STD.
All right. Oh my gosh. So, oh man. Ev, so is there anything that you want to you want a message out there for everybody, Black Americans, white, everybody? Like, what is a message you want to leave about the sex topic and taking care of yourself and your health?
Don't be afraid to speak up when it comes to your sex and your sexuality and your sexual health. Yes. Your sex will be better because, like, oh my gosh, I'm not worried about STDs. Or, like, I'm able to direct this person, like, exactly how I want to be touched and felt, because you're more likely to have positive sexual experiences. Yes. We all know there's a lot of unpositive sexual experiences out there.
Wait, do men get orgasms?
I think so. I was
because when you said that, I was just like, yeah, because you know how to say there's a lot of bad sexual experience out there. Oh, so do women get, like, is it every woman can have an orgasm?
Yes, they physically can. I think a lot of them don't because they don't know how to give themselves one, and also men are not taught through porn or anything how to give women orgasms. They're like it's a lot of guesswork that they're doing. But I think men can, but I think that with how we view sex, like we view sex to end when a man ejaculates, right? And you're like, oh, like it's done. But usually when a woman orgasms, like we don't have to have that refractory period. Men orgasm, they're like, don't touch me for a second, and like they need time to. Once women or people with vaginas and clitorises orgasm, it's like once you get to a plateau, then you can like keep going. You're like getting warmer and warmer and warmer and warmer, and you can keep going. That's how our body is designed. Like clitorises have so much more nerve endings, and it's designed to like keep going. Like first 20 minutes, like first 25 minutes, we're just getting warmed up. The heat oven is just getting hot.
So how do men need a second?
Because they were just designed in, a less efficient way,
As always. I'm joking, guys. That's crazy.
But yeah, so men need more time to relax. But women, like, once we get started, we can keep going.
Wow.
So, if you,
that's a good message to leave the people,
right. You better take care of your girl or ask her what she likes. And if she doesn't know, encourage her to figure it out. Maybe figure out together. Like, use a toy together and just, like, explore each other.
Toys are normal in relationships.
Yeah.
Okay.
Super normal.
Okay.
Most of my friends have them.
Yes.
In relationships. Yeah, right?
Wait, I'm not in a relationship, but I know what you mean.
People who are in relationships and not. Like, you can, and it doesn't mean you're any less. Someone said it's like a push to start. Using a vibrator during sex. It's like jumping the engine.
I love that. So the guy shouldn't feel bad if a woman suggests that.
No.
To heighten the sex. They shouldn't feel like, oh, well, I'm not enough.
No. And that usually, like, at least the people who I deal with, they're like mad excited. They're like, yep, let's go.
Yeah.
But
it's like a third party in the group without having a threesome.
But then, like, okay, so now right. And then it's like, now you know what this toy is. Let's see if we could do it without it. And you can mimic this thing.
Oh,
so,
wait,
like, let's do both.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, like, why
sometimes
sometimes you don't need it, and it's like sometimes you need to know, at least with your partner, and you guys care about each other and you're going to plan on having sex and dealing with each other more than once. Learn what each other like responds to, and also like the body is so much more than just like our sexual organs. Like everyone has different things that turn them on or on their body, so like take the time to explore that. Like sex can be so much more fun and exploratory than just like bam bam done.
Oh my gosh. Oh, the gems. Do you guys hear the gems?
I just hope everyone has great, safe, happy sex. That's it.
Yes.
I want that for everyone.
And I am so happy you took the time to come here after work.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, this was so much fun. Can you tell people your @name again, just so they could go on the page? And you are open to DMs about questions, anything like that, right?
If you have any questions, I am more than happy to answer them. My Instagram is @thesexualintellectual _. You'll see like a peach with little glasses as my Abby.
I love it.
And if you DM me, like feel free to go through the page. There's a fun myths and fun stories. Some of my funny stories are on there.
Yes,
Most embarrassing stories on there. But if you DM me, if you have any questions about anything, I'm more than happy to respond. Set up a phone call. I've done that so many times, and there's literally nothing you can say that's gonna like freak me out or gross me out.
Everything goes, right?
Everything goes. I've seen everything.
And thank you for stopping by. This was so much fun. Tune in episode 6. Everything goes. Have a happy Valentine's Day. Be safe. Protect yourself. Love yourself. And everything goes.